Hi everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. One of the members of the community called MYD actually just posted this in my Discord, and I've not found corroboration of this quite yet. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna record this video, get it uploaded, and then I'll publish it once I find out if this is actually legit. But a whole bunch of balance changes, and from what I can see from just glancing at this looks to be pretty real and pretty exciting, fixing up a lot of very underpowered champions. So let's dive in. Let's talk about what is changing. So first of all, Yakarl the Scourge. I've called him Yakarl the shit before. Poor old Yakarl. I actually have him, so I am extremely excited about this. A very underwhelming champion right now. He has this move where he smacks a single target and he freezes them. And then he does this triple hit. If the target's under freeze, it does this AoE hit. But it's very, very awkward to actually use this, right? He actually hits so hard on Blizzard Rider that he often just kills targets in Arena, so it's not that useful. His AI isn't smart enough to target frozen targets with Glaciate to get out the AoE freeze. It's awkward. Let's see what they're talking about changing for him. So, Yakarl the Scourge. So his Axe of All Winter is A1. It's going to attack one enemy 2 times, each hit having a 40% chance to freeze, and ignores 25% of the target's defense if targets are under freeze debuff. So, yeah, right now it's a 20% chance per hit to freeze. So they're going to double the chance, bring it up to 40%, probably going to buck up to 50% chance per hit to freeze, which is kind of insane. And ignoring 25% of defense is actually really, really good. So he does that right now. He does a bunch of weird stuff in his A1 depending on how many enemies are under freeze. Ignores shields with 1 under freeze, block damage 2 under freeze, 30% defense if 3 enemies are under freeze. Kind of awkward. I think this new version is much better, which is just ignores 25% defense if the targets are under freeze straight up. Pretty cool. Will we see Yakarl and Pixneal? Is this the new meta? We'll see. Blizzard Rider, then the new version, attacks one enemy. 75% chance to put decreased speed for 3 turns, and 75% to freeze for 1 turn. Steals 100% turn meter, puts increased speed on Yakarl himself for 3 turns. Ignores 50% of the target's defense if they are under freeze debuffs. So this is pretty similar. He pretty much does this right now, but the ignoring 50% defense on targets under freeze is brand new. Of course, bear in mind as we're reading through this stuff that you do take reduced damage when you're frozen. So this is sort of enabling him to really smack very hard against frozen targets, which is normally something you can't really do. Then Glaciate seems to have a complete rework. Attacks all enemies. Amazing. Has a 75% chance of placing a freeze debuff for 1 turn. This chance increases to 100% against targets with 75% or more turn meter. This debuff cannot be resisted by targets with 75% or more turn meter. An AoE attack with an irresistible freeze potentially if enemies have high turn meter. This could be amazing. Amazing for Arena. Complete rework of what it currently does. Much, much, much better. Still likely to be that 4-turn cooldown. Just an absolutely fantastic move. That becomes so good. That becomes so good. So you can even build him without that much accuracy. You know, enough accuracy so he can do like the turn meter steal and decrease speed and all of that. The freeze, single target against your squishier enemies. And then you sort of rely on the irresistible effect to get the debuff onto those tankier enemies with high resistance, like your Duchesses of this world and whatnot. Then his passive Lure Device is being changed. Increases the damage this champion inflicts by 10% for each enemy under freeze. Also decreases the damage this champion receives by 10% for each enemy under a freeze. And it puts Unkillable on him for 1 turn whenever he kills an enemy under freeze. And increases ally attack by 33% in all battles. This is completely bananas. This is completely bananas. A big update to what he's doing. So here he'd get Unkillable if there were 3 enemies under freeze. Now he has to kill someone under freeze. But the fact that, for example, Blizzard Rider hits so hard against frozen targets, this becomes much more doable. Yeah, and he loses this whole speed and resistance stuff, but that was kind of wonky. Yeah, it's just they took the first part of the passive and they're making it scale up. So if you freeze multiple enemies, he's going to start scaling up his damage and decreasing his damage by a lot. Yeah, Yakarl, I think, just got good. Okay, this is on the multiple CC discords. There we go. Cool. So they obviously, I'm not part of the content creator program quite yet. But yeah, so this is insane. Yakarl just became good. Oh, and by the way, 33% attack in all battles. He right now actually has a decent aura. 43% in Doom Tower, but 33% in all battles makes him very good. I'd say this guy could be a monster. He looks to be kind of a monster now for Doom Tower just in general. This is very strong. He looks to be a monster now for Arena, you know, with AoE freeze for Arena and absolutely smacking. He's pretty exciting. Yeah, Carl's pretty exciting. And I have him. Don't have him booked, but I have him. So we will definitely be testing this guy out. It's going to be very good. Now, Cleopteryx is up next. Cleopteryx, her Feather Barrage, right? She is one of the login champions over in Skinwalkers. Let's jump over to her and see what has changed. Feather Barrage puts 30% increased crit rate and 30% increased crit damage on this champion for 2 turns. Attacks all enemies with a 75% chance to put block active skills for 2 turns on targets under Hex. The damage has been increased, and then Sky Punishment, the damage has been increased. So right now, it gives her increased crit rate. So they basically just added in 30% increased crit damage as well. So this actually is going to make her also, I think, pretty decent, right? So she's going to get a bonus buff, 30% more crit damage. That's a nice buff. And then the fact that the damage has gone up, don't know by how much, but this is an AoE attack, right? Yeah, it's an AoE attack. It's now going to hit harder. Her A3 move is also... Is this an AoE attack? Yeah, attacks all enemies. This is also an AoE attack that can put Hex. This is going to hit harder. So we're now going to have a champion that is there placing hexes. She's giving herself some really nice buffs and potentially hitting very hard. So Cleopteryx could actually, again, become pretty good. This is pretty exciting, especially because she's a guaranteed champion, right? She is a login reward. So her being better is very good for anyone who's free to play or low spender. She could become really, really good. Next up, Samar Gem Cursed. He's basically just having his damage increased. So I think this is pretty interesting. Samar is basically used for one thing and one thing only, and that is to solo Bommel, due to the fact that he can put block damage on himself with a cooldown whenever he gets a hit that would drop him below 30%. This blocks the bombs. He can solo Bommel with very, very high speeds, but that's really all he does, and his abilities don't really matter. You don't really book him. So now he's going to hit harder. So he's going to be doing more healing himself or filling turn meter based off of his health. He does have a single target hit, which is supposed to do more damage based off the difference in his HP percentage and the target's. So if he's really low HP and the target's high HP, he should hit hard. And yeah, I don't know, also buffs as well. So this is an intriguing one. We'll see how much they've cranked up those multipliers. This could potentially be a very hard-hitting single target smack. Could become pretty scary, even in a go second sort of team. Then he does have an AoE attack as well that can steal 2 random buffs before attacking in an AoE and does an extra hit on enemies that have any buffs left. Again, this could become a very powerful move for Arena. So honestly, Samar could come in and be a very potent champion for Arena if they up his multipliers. You know, stealing buffs, not just removing, but stealing with an AoE attack. If he actually does damage, yeah, pretty exciting stuff. Then we've got 2 more, in fact. My goodness, this is a great, what a patch. This is fantastic. Scartorsis also going to be buffed. Rebirth, cooldown has been decreased from 7 to 6 turns for when booked. So Scartorsis, I think he's Undead Hordes, right? Yeah, here he is. Kind of a weird one. So he has Rebirth. This is going down, it's going down 2 turns, is it? Wait, what? Going down 1 turn. Change the order of actions in the skill. He'll remove debuffs first, then heal his allies. Okay, that's very nice. So it's going to remove all debuffs from all allies, heal them, fills their turn meter. The amount by which each ally is healed increases according to the number of debuffs removed from them. The amount by which each ally's turn meter is filled increases according to the number of debuffs removed from them. So making this cleanse really, really potent. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So basically, he's going to remove the debuffs and then heal them. So if they have heal reduction on, it's not going to completely block this heal. No. 4 turn, full cleanse, does a big heal, boosts a big turn meter. Yep, that's pretty cool. That's pretty exciting. That could be very good for Hydra. I think he has an AoE A1 with a 50% chance to steal a buff. That's good for Hydra as well. Increased attack and crit rate on all allies. It's okay. It's okay. Certainly an interesting champ for Hydra. This could be pretty cool. Yeah. 4 turn cleanse with a big heal and turn meter boost. He's got great base speed. Could be good for Arena as well, potentially. Maybe. Certainly it's a good cleanser for Arena, so that's pretty exciting. And then finally, Noble, I'm not sure how you say his name, the guy that we've all, anyone who's got him has been using to empower Ninja pretty much. This guy has seen a buff. He's all about fears at the moment. Let's see what they've changed with him. Base speed from 92 to 98, that's good. 92 base speed is pretty miserable. 98, much more workable, just in kind of the modern meta of the game. Dismay then attacks all enemies, 75% chance of decreasing each enemy's turn meter by 50%. If there are any enemies under fear or true fear debuffs, will also fill this champion's turn meter by the amount those enemies lose. Okay, so what does the Dismay do right now? Chance to decrease turn meter by 20%. So this has been radically buffed. 50%? Wow. So going from a 20% turn meter depletion to a 50% AoE turn meter depletion, and he can potentially steal those and go straight into another move. This move, by the way, has a 3-turn cooldown when fully booked. I think this becomes very good. This also becomes very good for Doom Towers, like, decreasing their turn meter, stealing it, put him with something like Yoshi the Drunkard or Mashal, someone that can put out fears. That could be a good combo. Then his passive, whenever an enemy's turn meter is fully depleted by any champion, has a 75% chance of placing a true fear debuff on that enemy for 1 turn. That's pretty cool. So making it just guaranteed. Making it guaranteed, not like a thing. Could be a very potent combo. I suppose you need to build him with a lot of accuracy, right? You'd need a lot of accuracy to make this work, so that's tricky to make it good for Doom Tower. I was thinking in Arena, if you put him with something like, Warlord. Warlord can fully deplete targets' turn meters with his AoE, put stuff on cooldown. You're probably going to win, though, if Warlord does that move anyway, so it doesn't really matter who else is in the team. If Warlord gets off his move, you're probably pretty good if they don't resist it. The True Fear, not super necessary there, but with other champions, this could be cool, though. Yeah, this is interesting. True Fear's out. Yeah, cool. So, Noble went from basically completely useless to having certainly more uses. I'm not sure if he's going to be amazing, but a lot more solid. I think that increase in speed, that much stronger turn meter manipulation stuff is going to make him a lot better for Doom Tower in particular, where that sort of true fear control is actually quite useful. So there you go, guys. What do you think? An insane set of buffs, actually. An insane set of buffs coming in here. Cleopteryx becoming much more attractive as that guaranteed champion. Samar, we don't know the numbers here, but Samar potentially becoming quite a force, potentially in PvP. Scartorsis, nice buffs there for PvP for Hydra, I would say. Noble for PvP, for Arena, and for Doom Tower. And then, my goodness, Yakarl the Scourge. Yes, Yakarl the shit, no longer. Yakarl becoming an absolute monster of a champion with an absolutely beastly, hopefully beastly AoE attack that can freeze. Single target smacks that are going to be ignoring defense. Yakarl could become a really, really good champion now. I'm excited. Guys, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think. Just the deluge of videos. I've actually have extra videos recorded today that I'm going to have to postpone because I just can't bring 5 videos out in the same day. It's just too much. So we got some videos coming out tomorrow. I'm going to bring this out today. It's too exciting. But yeah, there you go, guys. Let me know what you think. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.